Hi there everyone, this is Sherman from downtown Toyota, and today I have for you, I'm very excited about this video, it's the 4Runner, okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the differences between the 2021 limited edition 4Runner and the all new 2022 Trd Sport 4Runner. To the naked eye, I know they both look the same, but we're going to get into the differences and similarities really quickly. In this part of the video, we're going to talk about some of the similarities between the 2021 limited edition 4Runner as well as the 2022 Trd Sport that make them very similar. To begin with, when you take a look at the front grille on the car, at first glance they look very similar. Everything is very similar in terms of the design language, in terms of the way the grille looks, as the lines flow down into the front fenders. You look at the wheels, they look at the same. The doors all the way back to the back bumper, everything looks the same on the car. The car shares the same powertrain and transmission with each other, as well as the suspension setup. A little bit about the suspension setup. Because these are the road-going versions of the car, it comes with the X-Reyes suspension. The X-Reyes suspension, to put it very simply and not get too technical with the mumbo jumbo, is going to allow your car to limit the amount of sway, pitch, and roll to make sure that your ride is always going to be the most comfortable ride in these beauties over here. Now, if you take a look at the front bumpers, you're going to notice that it's a lower overhang in the front and a lower overhang in the back. This is a little bit different when you consider our off-road versions of the 4Runners. But the reason for that is, once again, this is the street version of the car. This is the road-going version of the car. You can still hop the curb, you know, take it down a dirt country road, and you're still going to be okay. But if you're thinking about taking any aggressive approach angles and exit angles off some rocks, please don't do it. We like to save the beautiful paint and bumpers on these cars. In the next section of the video, we're going to look at the differences between the limited edition as well as the Trd Sport. How's my hair? Just kidding, guys. All right, so in this part of the video, we're going to talk about the differences between the 2022 Trd Sport 4Runner as well as the 2021 limited edition 7-passenger 4Runner. So let's get into it. When we take a look at the front facade on the car, you can tell that everything has been color coded. No longer do we have the appearance of chrome like we used to on the limited edition. So when you take a look at the grille over here, it's been color coded super white to the rest of the car. Down here as well, it's been color coded super white in the car. It's essential to note that the 4Runner Trd Sport does not come in the premium colorway like the Blizzard Pearl. That's why this is the super white colorway, and the limited edition we're going to show you is going to be the Blizzard Pearl colorway. If you take a very, very close look over here, you'll see that there's a camera on the front grille, and that is for our 360-degree bird's eye view camera. It's very essential to note this is not the multi-terrain view monitor camera. This is the 360-degree bird's eye view camera that is made for the sport version of the car, which is the road-going version of the 4Runner. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the front of the limited edition 7-passenger 4Runner. So, to begin with, your eyes are automatically drawn to this whole chrome-laden grille that you see over here. You have chrome right here, chrome that's transferred down here into the design language, as well as the chrome down here. If you take a closer look at the front grille of the car, you'll notice that there's no camera like we had on the Trd Sport. And that's because that has been replaced with the parking sensors on the car that you see over there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go along the side of the car and talk about some more of those specific differences on the car. But before I go there, I just want to bring your eyes back to the color on the car. Blizzard Pearl is one of our special colorways. It costs a little bit more, but it's well worth the money. When you look at the car very closely, you'll notice that there's a nice shimmer in the paint. That's something that's not found on our regular colors like the super white. This used to be my waiting for the bus pose until I got myself a 4Runner. I'm just kidding. All right, getting into the side profile of the car, you guys, you're going to notice that there's not too much chrome. So if you see from the limited edition, there's no chrome over here, and there's no chrome in the underlays of the car at the very bottom. In addition to that, you'll notice that the wheels are a little bit bigger on the car with the lower profile tires, the same way they are on the limited edition. That's because this is the road-going version of the car. If you notice, some of our off-road versions of the 4Runner have smaller wheels with chunkier, meatier rubber. Now, as you take a closer look at the wheels, you're also going to notice that with the limited edition, it has the black on the inside color of the car. Here on the Trd Sport, it's more of the lighter magnetic gray, as they would call it here at Toyota. In addition to that, when you take a closer look at our suspension setup on the car, with all of our Toyotas, you're going to notice that our suspension turrets are always located on the outside of the frame. One of the reasons for that is because to give you better coverage on the road when you drive. Another reason for that is stability. If you had this suspension on the inside of the frame, it would be equivalent to me standing like this. If someone was to come over and push me over, I'm more susceptible to falling over because my balance is very narrow. Because we put our suspensions on the outside of the frame, it's more similar to me standing like this. When somebody tries to push me over, you're not pushing big boy over that easily. But getting into it, guys, those are some of the reasons why the suspension on the 4Runners makes the 4Runner what it is and always gives you that comfortable ride that prevents you from having any type of pitch, roll, or any type of sideways feelings in the car. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the front roof rack on the car. On the limited edition, it is silver to go along with a little bit of the chrome outlining on the car. The reason we don't make it chrome is, can you imagine having a roof rack and actually making practical use of it and the chrome cracking over time? That's the reasons we don't add the chrome accents to the top of the car, but they're more color keyed to go with the design language on the car. So back to the Trd Sport. It's the black roof rails, the Trd Sport branding on the back to go with everything else that looks very similar in terms of size proportions to the limited 4Runner, which we're going to look at next. This is the limited 7-passenger 4Runner. When we take a look at the side of the cars, you'll notice there's a lot of chrome showing to differentiate some of the specific aspects of the car. We have chrome down here on the car. Unlike the Trd Sport that had the colored keyed handles, these are chrome as well. There's the chrome out here as well, but it's been blacked out on the Trd Sport. And finally, when you take a look at what I was talking about before, it's not chrome, but it is silver to go in with some of the other branding on the car in terms of the roof rail. We have the limited sign over here that closes off the branding to let you know this is the top of the line sports road going version of the car. And the next thing we're going to do is just take a look at the back of the car and the interior to go into some more of the differences. All right, in this part of the section of the video, we're going to talk about the back of the Trd Sport 4Runner. And for the longest time, Toyota had the same key for the car forever. However, with the inception of the 2022 4Runner, we've changed it up to this baby right here. And I'm really excited about this because this is actually the key that is shared for the Highlander and some of the newer models on the car. So it's a really nice update that they brought with the 2022 4Runner. Getting to the really specific parts of the car, you'll notice once again that we have the color keyed parts of the car that are going to be different aesthetically speaking from that on the limited edition 4Runner. So over here you can see this back part that's usually chrome on the limited edition is now been color keyed in. We still have the chrome 4Runner to go and match the chrome on the front Toyota side on the car. And you know, you have the towing hitch. We do give you some of the accessories for the towing hitch as well. That's included in the back of the car. And my personal favorite part of the car, oh yeah. So you can easily put in your groceries and just grab them back out and run on into the house. So we're gonna head over to the limited edition now and we're gonna look into those features, okay? So looking at the back of the limited edition 7-passenger 4Runner, we see once again the chrome branding to go along with the front and the sides of the car that we have over here along the 4Runner sign and the Toyota sign. There's more chrome down here on the car as well. Now it's very essential to note that because this is the limited edition 4Runner, it is the road going version of the car. That's why we have the lower bumper overhang over here. And one of the reasons for that is it's very niche specific. Toyota doesn't expect that you're going to have any aggressive angles that you're going to be coming off of, exiting off rocks or any steep slopes. That's why we have the lower bumper in the back. You also have your towing hitch that's accompanied with this very nice Toyota cover over here. And very important to note, parking sensors, something that's not found on the Trd Sport. These parking sensors are when you're reversing the car is still going to let you know when you get too close to something behind you, unlike the 360-degree camera that has a second camera back there on the Trd Sport. To close it all off, you know, the limited edition still comes with the piece de resistance, which is this beautiful back glass that opens and closes on demand. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the inside of the car and just talk about some of the nice features and quirks that it comes with. At this point in the video, we're going to talk about the interior of the Trd Sport 4Runner. The first thing I need to mention, we big boy friendly up in here. Look at the amount of space I have. My knees are not making out with the dash, which is amazing. So getting right into it. Seats. Aside from the Trd branding that you see on these seats, these are soft tech leather seats. We understand that the 4Runner is meant for outdoor use. You're gonna get the car dirty, so why not give you materials in the car that are easier to maintain? So, Following the seats, these are Softex seats. This is our synthetic leather seats. These are the seats that are going to last you just as long as your 4Runner does, because we all know 4Runners are capable at least 300 kilometers, 300,000 kilometers that is, and more. As we bring it over, you take a look at the dash. You have the nicely refined dash with the silver overlays and the black, which is a great contrast for the inside of the car. We have the Trd Sport Shifter over here, and I'm going to get into some more details onto the dash in just a second. Oh, hey there, I noticed you guys noticing me. I was just fixing my hair, you know how it goes, listening to some Garth Brooks, Wild Horses. Well, let's get right into it, guys. This is the Trd Sport interior, okay? We're going to go from left to right, and we're just going to get into some of the very basic features that make this Trd Sport 4Runner what it is today. Getting right into it, guys, so we have your traditional Toyota wheel over here with your phone answer buttons, your pre-collision detection and lane detection buttons. You can use these buttons to answer your phone, hang up your phone, and just change some of the basic features that are available to you in the car. We have your mirror adjustment over here, your 360-degree camera angle over here, as well as a button to turn on the outlet in the car for the 400 watts. As we make our way up here, what you're going to notice is that you have your 3 buttons for the garage door opener. You have your open and close button for the sunroof, as well as your traction control, a track button for when you're off-roading a little bit, and downhill assist control. It's very essential to note this SOS button over here. This SOS button is what you're going to use if you're ever stuck in the middle of nowhere and you need help or you need emergency services to come get you. As we draw our way down here, what we're going to notice is this beautiful screen in the middle of the car. Now, compared to the limited 7-passenger, we don't get navigation and we don't get the Jbl Sound System. But as you just heard Garth Brooks, we're completely okay. It's a great sound system. You're not missing out on too much. Unless you feel you need the premium, you should go for it. We have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and another outlet over here for electricity, and in true traditional fashion of Toyota and their branding, the nice knobs that we've always found on these 4Runners from the inception of when they came out with this design cues. Now, one of the cool features about the Trd Sport that doesn't necessarily come on the limited edition, and I personally like, is the 360-degree camera. As you can see from over here, you know, you can adjust the views on the cameras however you would like, but it is one of the nicest features on the new model for 2022, which is this Trd Sport. In addition to that, we also have the Trd Shifter over here. We have your auto up and down for the back glass, as well as your heated seats that can go from a lower heated setting to a higher heated setting. And to close everything off, we have your high and low gear ratio changer over here. Unlike the traditional first generation 4Runners that had a second gear lever that you would need to change for high and low, we have this nice user-friendly knob where you just hit the button and you change it, and that's how you can change between those gear ratios. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to head right over to the luxurious limited edition 7-passenger, and we're going to take a look at that interior. It's also very essential to note that the Trd Sport bridges the gap for those people that don't necessarily want a 7-passenger but still want the look of the limited edition, and that's where the Trd Sport comes in with the 5-passenger and the very nice limited edition look, and not to mention that beautiful bulge in the front, which is a hood scoop, of course. Alright guys, from an outside glance on the inside of the 2021 limited edition 7-passenger 4Runner, we can see that everything is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Well, I won't say aesthetically pleasing, but I would say a little bit more upgraded. So to begin with, seats over here. These are your leather seats, okay? And they actually have these little holes in the seats, and what that's for is for the hot air as well as for the cold air to be ventilated through the seats. As we move it over to the wood grain on the nice dash, before on the Trd Sport you saw it was a little bit lower of a grade in terms of it just being brushed metal, while over here you see the nice wood grain. You have the nice black accents to match the silver accents on the car. Everything is a little bit similar, but at the same time it's very different on the inside of this car. We're going to take a closer look at the inside in the next view of the video. We have memory seating on the car, so if your significant other is a little bit smaller than you and you need to make sure she can reach that accelerator automatically when she gets into the car, the seats are going to adjust for him or her. As we make our way over, we have our rain sensing wipers. We have the power outlet button for the back of the car, as well as our adjustments for our mirrors, the brightness for our dash and automated lights. We have our traditional Toyota steering wheel over here, which is very similar to that on the Trd Sport. As we make our way over to the mirror, we're going to notice that it's an auto dimming mirror. So when you're driving on the road and you have those guys in those trucks with the really bright HIDs completely blinding you, you can look right into the mirror because it's going to dim the lights for you. We make our way up here. We have your traction control, 8-track, downhill assist, and our SOS button. Very important, guys. Don't hit it unless you need it. And then you have your garage door openers for your 3 garage doors, as well as the self-sliding button for the top of the car. As we make our way down here, you'll notice that it has a very similar screen to that in the Trd Sport. However, we do have a Jbl Sound System in this car. So Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, but the traffic in Toronto never will. You can sing it out with me next time you're driving and you know, I come to mind. As we make our way down here a little bit more, we notice our traditional knob style levers for our climate control on the car. We have the different adjustment settings for it. Now, when you look down here, you have your Apple CarPlay and your Android Auto button, but you also have the hot and cold seating for the ventilated seats. We have your off-road dial, so you can go through low, high gear ratios on the car, and the branding on the shifter for the car matches the wood grain that is seen in the dash. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is really keep in mind that this is a 7-passenger car. The limited edition, at the end of the day, yes, it is a little bit more expensive than the Trd Sport. But the question to you, the consumer, is what are the features on the car that you consider to be most important to you? Because at the end of the day, you can still get the same styling, get less seats with a little bit more bang for your buck if you decide to go with the Trd Sport. Let me know what you think. All right, guys, so as we draw an end to this video on the comparison between the 2021 limited edition 7-passenger 4Runner and the all-new 2022 Trd Sport, I do hope you did like the video discussing the similarities as well as the differences. Now, I do understand, and we at Downtown Toyota understand, that buying a car is the next biggest decision for a majority of the people in Toronto after a house. If you need any information, feel free to reach out to us at Downtown Toyota. We're just here to help you out at the end of the day and give you all of the information that you need to make the best decision on reliability, or as you would put it, your next Toyota. Thank you.